Hi everybody, Mature Simmer here. So welcome to the Tri-Cities Airport. I forgot we can't get to the Pedo without coming at it at a different angle here. But we are here for the NASCAR 2025 series. Walker Air Transport is moving VIPs around the country from race to race. So we're going to be heading to Talledega for the Jack Links 500. Kyle Larson went ahead and won here in Bristol. So they were pretty excited. Fans had a couple weeks to spend here. It's really the only long layover that exists. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get that here. I forgot about the chocks. Let's go around and get those. All right. So there we go. But we'll hop inside our plane and we'll go ahead and get things moving along here. That's right, we need to turn the batteries on. So that'll start things up. Everything will start aligning. But relatively short flight. It's just about 250 miles, as you can see. So we're going to go ahead and actually we want to do it here. We want to go ahead and get our flight plan set. So we're here at Kilo Tri-Cities Regional. There you go. We're going to select the runway, runway 23. We're going to add the destination, which is Kilo Alpha Sierra November, Talladega Municipal, as you can see. And we're all good there. Now we want to go back. We want to enter some procedures. So departure-wise, we're going to use the departure. There is no transition.
System test okay.
Alright, system test is okay. That's good. So yeah, we want try 3. So that will work. And we want to load that. And then we want to, again, go to the procedure. And for the approach, we're going to use RNAV 24 with just vectors. And we're going to load that. And now let's take a look at the flight plan as it sits. So we want to go to Zekny, which I think is accurate. Just trying to look here. Oh, that's way at the end. Okay. So we actually have some waypoints we need in between. So we're going to go up here. We're going to add a waypoint. We're going to go Victor, X-ray, Victor. And that should get us where we need there. And then we want jilts. Oh, Gillis. I can't read. But that's why the computers are good, because they can. And then we want goober. I don't know if it's really goober. I'm going to call it goober. So there's goober. Alright, VNAV. Okay, so we want to turn external power on. That should work. Get standby power on. Alright, let's see if we can get ourselves ready with clearance. center at 12785. So let's get that in. Whoops. 12785. All right. Tri-Cities Regional, Walker 4021, requesting IFR to Talledega.
Give me 1 second for that clearance.
All right. Well, there is somebody there at least. I figured out how to use my radio. All right. 3600 appears to be actually what I'm assuming the altitude will be cleared
Walker
to.
4021, cleared to Talladega. Radar vectors, Holston Mountain, then as filed. Climb and maintain 5,000. Expect flight level 36010 minutes after departure. Departure on 125.5, squawk 2265.
Requesting radar vectors Victor X-ray Victor, Walker 4021.
Flying heading 155 now, 174 Bravo Alpha.
Center, good afternoon. American turn 65, flight level 33,000, 300.
Walker 4021, unable to provide radar vectors at this time. Please verify your request or contact the appropriate controller for assistance.
Cleared to Talledega, radar vectors HMV, then as filed. Climb and maintain 5,000. Expect flight level 360, 10 minutes after departure. Departure on 125.5, squawk 2265. Walker 4021.
Walker 4021, read back correct.
All right. And then we want 1255, so we're good there. All right. So we should be set. Let's go up. Why is it? I'm surprised it's not showing us the top. There we go. So we're going to arm our emergency lights, get our anti-collision on, get our recognition and pulse. We're good. We'll get our seat belts on for folks. Not trying this with self-loading cargo. It's been acting less than what we'd like, so we're going to just stick with that. Alright, and then we're going to want to get the engines going. Alright, so we should have everything running at this point. Yep, everything's good. So I think we're set. So we can go ahead and get taxi directions. Walker 4021, ready for taxi.
Walker 4021, contact ground for taxi instructions.
Oh. Contact ground, Walker 4021. Tri-Cities ground, Walker 4021, ready for taxi.
Walker 4021, Tri-City ground, taxi to runway 23 via Alpha.
Taxi to runway 23 via Alpha, Walker 4021. Alright, so this one's simple enough. Get the parking brake set. And then we're basically turning off here. And should be all set. So hopefully we can clear that. If not, I guess we'll learn later. But yeah, look like we're okay. Sometimes it puts things a little bit too close. But for those who have been following the series, I do apologize for not getting this out in real time. I was supposed to do that. I had a couple weeks and things just got a little out of hand and I couldn't get to it. So I'm trying to get myself back on schedule for this because otherwise it gets worse and worse as we go along. So let me just make sure. Am I, because what I don't know.
145 Kilo Alpha taxi to holding point Bravo 2 via taxiway Delta and Echo.
Alright, where's the
Point
hole?
Bravo
Whoop,
2
whoop,
via
whoop, whoop.
Delta and Echo King Air 145
The hold
Kilo
is
Alpha.
right there. So let's get our lights. We want to get our landing lights on. Now we want to go to tower, which is 119.5.
Kodiak 5 Papa Tango. On departure, maintain VFR at or below 4,500. Departure on...
Okay, and then we want departure is 1255, so we want that dialed in so that we're good. Alright. Tri-Cities Tower, Walker 4021, ready for takeoff. Just make sure I'm set to 5. I am. Flaps 1.
Walker 4021, Tri-City Tower, runway 23, winds 135 at 4, fly runway heading, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 23, cleared for takeoff, Walker 4021. Alright. So, just that quickly, we're off. So, been using the longitude. This is going to be my third leg with it. Really enjoying it. It eliminates the problem of not having the range in the CJ4. So, you know, it's a little bit faster, obviously, so a little bit more challenging to land, but it's certainly better than flying a 737 in like we did on some of the earlier legs and having to, you know, try to take off where we didn't even have enough room to take off, so it was really bad. But anyway, here we go. So, yeah, the issue with the engines is you need the APU on to start. Even though we had ground power, somehow it wasn't working the way we would have liked. Alright, so let me get that. We got positive climb here. Again, we're headed to runway, or we're doing runway heading. So we're going to engage autopilot now. And we're going to set V speed to a lot less. Oh, that's up. So yeah, I don't want to climb as fast.
4021, contact departure.
Contact departure, Walker 4021. Departure, Walker 4021 with you, approaching 5,000.
Airspeed. Auto throttle.
Alright, so we've got the auto throttle. Departure, Walker 4021 with you.
Vision Jet 4 Juliet Lima, contact Tri-Cities Tower on 119.5.
Walker 4021, Tri-City departure, radar contact, clear to direct Holston Mountain.
Can I get clearance direct to Victor X-Ray Victor, please?
Walker 4021, Tri-City departure, climb and maintain flight level 220.
Climb and maintain flight level 220, Walker 4021. I'm going to assume he's letting me go. He didn't say no. Alright, so we want actually flight level... Why is it 220? Really? Is that all we want to do? That seems odd. Alright, let's do flight level change. Again, with auto throttle, it should work nicely. So that was the one thing I did not realize, that this does have an auto throttle. So that makes it even more enjoyable. But here we go, heading out of the area. So we're northern Tennessee here. We're kind of coming back over. We had crossed over into Kentucky. We're now coming back over the Kentucky-Tennessee line and heading over to Knoxville, which is where Victor X-Ray Victor is. It's the volunteer waypoint. So, can't see much there, but we'll get ourselves up here. So, little ways to go, but hopefully the flight won't be too long. We're down to 245, so we're just kind of barely getting to the miles we need here, but hopefully it'll give you the information you need. It's been a while. I mean, it's been 2 or 3 weeks since I flew here, so
Walker 4021,
we're just climbing
and
a lot.
maintain flight level 300.
Climb and maintain flight level 300, Walker 4021. Alright, so I do need to dial in, because I have flight level 320. Well, actually, it looks like it's changing, so that's okay. So, hopefully it'll get us where we need to. We've broken through the clouds. But, using live weather, so I'm probably going to try to do that just because it's a little bit more entertaining that way rather than just setting clear weather and so forth. This aircraft certainly can handle that. We've got a little bit of wind. We've got an 11 knot wind or so as we get toward Talledega. We're set for runway 22, as we said, but we'll see, you know, what it gives us.
Heavy traffic, 1 o'clock and 15 miles, same altitude, type unknown.
Alright, so at this point, we can go to standard, and let's see. Looks like we're at 299er8 right now for our destination.
Atlanta Center on 127.55, Warrior 19er Whiskey.
But hopefully we'll get cleared all the way up to 320 shortly.
Walker 4021, contact Atlanta Center on 127.85.
Contact Atlanta Center, Walker 4021. Atlanta Center, Walker 4021, flight level 220, climbing to flight level 330. Alright, why are we not getting the calls back? It's just really working really slowly. So, we'll see what it tells me. Like, it's finally notified it, like the interface has finally said that I've told it that I'm contacting departure. Or not departure, but that I'm contacting Atlanta Center. Try again, I guess. Atlanta Center, Walker 4021, flight level 250, climbing, flight level 300.
Walker 4021, Atlanta Center, good afternoon.
Okay. And again, if it leaves us at 3, that's okay. I'm not opposed to that. It's not terrible. But I did file a flight plan to go to 320. Atlanta Center, Walker 4021. Can I request flight level 320?
Walker 4021, climb and maintain flight level 320.
Climb and maintain flight level 320, Walker 4021. Alright. So we're good there. Okay, so we want to go to Jill's, Goober, and then, yes, to Zuki or whatever it is. Or Zenki. So that'll take me over about 14 miles. So we'll see how all that plays out. But we're already at 30,000.
Climb and maintain flight level 360.
I don't want to go that. Did I set it that high? Maybe I did. Climb and maintain flight level 360, Walker 4021. I may have filed it that way now that I think about it. I think I thought about 320. Let me look real quick. I did. So, silly me. So that's probably why it wasn't clearing me, because it was getting ready to go higher, but alright, so flight level 360, so it looks like by Gillis we should be going down already. I do recall there was like a top of descent and all that, so
Switching to New York Center, 133.2, American 106.
alright. So let's see if I can set speed constraint. Let's say it's 290. Or maybe we'll just do Mach 780. So we're at 760. So in theory it should speed up a little bit, hopefully. We'll see how that all plays out as we get closer here. But we are at this point getting closer. Oh, I don't need to have the APU on, so I can turn that off. Forgot about that. Saw it up on my chart there. You can see there's our distance. So 31 nautical miles to Knoxville. So we're coming up on that, kind of going along the mountains over here. They're hard to see, but there you go. You can see now we're going up to 0.78, although now we're just blowing by it. I mean, we are on auto throttle. I guess we'll see what it settles into. I hope it settles into something. Otherwise it's not auto throttling very well. I mean, it's on AT. Alright, it's slowing down a bit now. You can see it backing off. I backed off a lot on the actual throttle. So I'm wondering if somehow, like, the speed constraint is there. I don't understand. I mean, it's slowing us down, but it shouldn't have really done what it did, I don't think. So, not... No, it was slowing us down. Now it's not. So, a little odd, that's for sure. So yeah, we'll hit Knoxville, and then we'll turn a bit, and we'll head over at that point. So it's probably going to be a little bit. So I've, asked this before. Nobody's really asked for full flights. The next flight's going to be longer, so I definitely don't want to probably worry about that. But I'm going to wait until we get a little bit closer, and then we will come back as we're getting ready to land. You've kind of seen the auto throttle work and all of that. Flight level change has gone off. Autopilot's doing its thing. So I will get us closer to Talledega. We are now, as you can see, a little under 200 miles away. And when we get there, we'll land. Atlanta approach, Walker 4021, 4,000 feet.
Walker 4021, Atlanta approach. Good afternoon, Talledega, altimeter 30.00.
5 plane 11 Bravo Charlie squawk 0315 switch to 135.4.
Squawking 0315 switching to 135.411 Bravo Charlie.
Welcome back, everybody.
6000 fly heading 092 vectors to Rome, Comanche Delta Lima Delta.
So we've now gone ahead and we've got ourselves heading direct to Zankney.
Delta Lima Delta is 10 miles inbound Rome VOR.
Comanche Delta Lima Delta Rome, altimeter 2980.
So you can see we are, we've been told to descend to 4,000 feet. We're quite a ways away. We're still over 60 miles away, so I think we ended up descending earlier than we needed to, but that was what Say Intentions was suggesting, and I wasn't seeing stuff on the chart, and I don't know. An abundance of caution, I went ahead and descended when it suggested, and I'm down way early, I think, because obviously now I've got to be below 250, given that I'm below 10,000, but we're also, not flying very high above the world. So you can see we're really about 3,300 feet above ground level. There shouldn't be any big mountains. We're just crossing the Georgia-Alabama border. I think I got on with you when you heard we were with Atlanta approach, so we are getting there, but so we need to be above 2,700 at Coget, but let me just take a quick look at what we would enter in at. So it'll be about 3,100 is what it will have us at, so I'm gonna change this to the fine tuning at this point because I don't want to change 1,000 at a time, because I'm pretty sure we're just going to get cleared for the RNAV approach. But basically like 4 miles out from Zankney, that's where it says we should be coming in at about 3,100. So we'll see what it says, but we're 40 miles outside right now. So we probably have 15-20 minutes till we're going to land. But the auto throttle's doing its thing. It's worked pretty well as we've gone along. So just kind of seeing where we're at on our Navigraph. But yeah, come in another 10 miles. Looks like we have a big water. I assume it'd be a lake. A big water. I sound like Littlefoot, the dinosaur. But anyway. Interesting road. There's a roadway there, kind of heading through. Man, it almost looked like it was dropping down, but everything, all my instruments are telling me it's not, so I'm going to assume it's not. But I'll tell you, it doesn't look like it's not. But yeah, if we pop over here, just get a nice view. Pretty nice weather overall, again.
783 Juliet Kilo, climb to 5,000
on 124.7.
it has
5,500, switching
slowed
to
down a little.
78786 Juliet Kilo.
Winds are 8 knots instead of 11.
8 Bravo Juliet contact. Chattanooga approach on 119.2.
So yeah, we left Chattanooga approach a while back, so. But yeah, it looks like there's a roadway kind of driving across that lake there, separating it. So I don't know if it's one of those lakes or like a river that then has a little bit of expansion in it, and they, you know, call it a lake, but it's not really a lake. We'll see. But heading in, and at this point again, as I stated at the beginning, it's a flight every week, so there's a possibility I might have a challenge during our actual move. I'm going to try to avoid that, maybe fly ahead a flight or two to get them in the books. A lot of that's going to depend on, am I back in an area where we're kind of in the southeast and we're just taking short little hops. I can do 2 or 3 flights pretty easily in one day then. But like the next flight is going to be about 600 miles, a little less than that. So that's not a short one, and if I have 2 or 3 of those together right about the end of the month, that'll be a bit of a challenge, but we'll see. We'll see what we've got when we start getting closer to that. I mean, I'm not happy I'm behind already, but this one should come out. I'll put it out there on the channel. Either it'll probably be for Friday, and then the regular one that should be scheduled appropriately will be on Saturday, when we would be flying our VIPs normally. So this flight would be the 26th of April.
4021 Atlanta approach. Proceed direct Zekny. Descend and maintain 3100 until established. Cleared for the RNAV runway 22 approach.
Descend and maintain 3100 until established. Proceed direct Zekny. Cleared for the RNAV runway 22 approach. Walker 4021. So just go ahead and get down. We'll put the landing thing back on. I turned it off to give us some nice visibility, but so yeah, we're going to get down to probably 2,500 feet above the ground at this point. There we go. Yep, right about there. Obviously, depending on the terrain, it's going to bounce around a little bit. But we're 35 miles out. Just making sure you're seeing that. You are. Alright, so all good stuff. So now it's just a matter of landing appropriately, but we should be headed right in here. At this point, I'm going to go ahead, turn on the approach. And, yeah, it's just showing the glide path, but we'll see. I mean, we're still almost 20 miles from Zekny, so... But this is what Alabama looks like from the air around Talledega, so there you go.
Tower 118.3, good night. Tower 118.3, good night, Delta 1316.
Goodness, the plane is having a bit of fun here, I'll tell you that. What time is it? I don't remember where I have a clock here. I don't know. It said good night, so, and usually it's getting the time from the sim, so. Yeah, what I think I need to do is, well, no, we're alright. I'm not gonna mess up the sound any further, but I'm like, if I can look at Navigraph, I would know how far away I am, but I've got the visibility to the OBS stream, so I see, you know, 29 nautical miles out. So obviously when we hit Zekny, we'll be about 15 miles out. And, you know, still a little bit of a turn, so we're going to be kind of heading in that direction to kind of align. But we do have the approach on, so hopefully we'll lock in appropriately and go. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and put my flaps one out, because that'll probably help us get established a little bit too. Obviously it's probably going to require a little bit more. Not quite sure why it's well, maybe I don't want to go to flaps one yet then, so let's see. Let's do that, because I don't want to take longer than I need to. I didn't realize it was going to slow down to 200 then. Because yeah, we're still 8 miles from Zekny, so I'll worry about the flaps kind of once we're on the final approach, and I think that'll give us plenty of time to start worrying about things. But yeah, we were headed to Goober. It didn't really say anything specifically, but you know, it would have been pretty much a sharp turn and then head over 10 or 15 nautical miles, so you know, almost straight over. So it was like, let's just cut it a little straighter, a little more direct, and let's just go to Zekny and go from there. So that was the deciding factor. So 20 nautical miles. But you can see, you know, ground speed's 245, so right about what our airspeed is as well. You can see on the landing monitor we kind of got a 20 knot headwind is what it's telling us. Alright, so we should be turning soon. It looks like, I don't know if that's an airport. No, it's probably just a roadway. Well, now the thing that I thought was a runway just vanished, so as...
Walker 4021, radar services terminated. Talledega Airport at your 1 o'clock, 16 miles. Change to advisory frequency approved. Squawk VFR. Report cancellation of IFR or missed approach this frequency. So long.
Walker 41, terminate radar services.
Walker 4021, roger. Radar services terminated. Squawk VFR, frequency change approved.
Alright, so there we go. So now we're going to get established here. Now we're going to go ahead and put our flaps down. And then that will start slowing us down here. And again, hopefully the glide slope will come on in and we'll be in good shape here. Not sure I'm really seeing the runway yet. But we'll try to get ourselves set. We're kind of watching the glide path, although it's nice to kind of see that we're heading down there. Come on, because we gotta be, you know, we're 5 miles out, but okay, I think it's coming down here finally. Yeah, I believe it's slowly moving down. Yeah, you can see it starting to kind of get into the location it needs to be. It's kind of once we lock in, and then okay, so the diamond is what I'd expect. So that gray diamond that's coming down, maybe it'll intercept right about the same time. Once it does that, we'll go flaps, we'll go gear down, and then flaps 2. So there we go. We've got the glide path. So gears down. Go into flaps 2. And we'll eventually get to full flaps. Alright, let's go full flaps now. And you can see it's going to try to basically maintain us at about 140. And I probably... I don't know that I'd say I see the airport yet, so I can't say I'm loving what I got, but we're 1,500 feet up. About. Are we like 2 miles out? No, 6 miles out. We're 2 miles from Kozja. So it might be out there. Just doesn't look like we're lined up with anything, if that's what it is, so I'm just not sure that's really accurate, but we're at 2,100. Five nautical miles. I mean, I don't think it's a super long runway, but yeah, this haze is definitely interesting.
Delta 1221, descend and
So, I
maintain
mean, it
2000.
may be that there.
descending to 2000.
Because, yeah, we're at 1,000 feet now. And, yeah, we're pretty lined up, so I'm thinking that is the runway there. I don't want to disengage anything until I'm sure. But, yeah, this is, yeah, that's gotta be it. Alright. So let's turn off the auto throttle. And so now we'll let it do its thing. Now it looks more like a runway. Just took a little bit. Alright, we're gonna speed up a bit. I don't want to lose too much. But yeah, we'll take off the autopilot. And then hopefully we'll be a little smoother. But yeah, we're 500. We're way above the glide slope is the problem. So, I'm gonna pull this back. Yeah, we know.
Sync rate 200, sync rate.
It's a little bit more interesting than we'd like. We're coming in kind of hot.
40, 30, 20, 10.
A little sloppy, but it's okay. Alright, well, we're in. We have made it. So, let's see if we can turn around. Because we basically have a taxiway right there. Again, radar services are terminated, so we're not going to have anything. Yeah, I disengaged probably too early. I normally would do it at like 200 or 300 feet. So, kind of created my own problem there. So we'll get the flaps up. They move pretty quickly on the plane, as you can see they're already up. So, but we have made it to Talledega so that these folks can enjoy the race. They'll be here for a week. And again, the race is tomorrow as we drop them off, so, you know, gotten there a little bit in the evening, and that'll do it. But we'll head over to these folks here. Alright. Set the parking brake, and we shall turn off our engines. So there we go. So, like I said, welcome to Talledega. Bunch of planes here, as you'd expect, day before race day, but if only if only Flight Simulator was that accurate and new, huh?
Right to the VOR, descend to 4,000. Right to the VOR, descending to 4,056 Alpha Bravo.
Alright, so we'll just verify that we are that it took it. It did. So yes, we'll be going from Talladega to Fort Worth next time. So that will be our flight. And yeah, see, that's the thing. Then we're going 664. We're going 391 the week after that. Then we're going 664. But then we only have like 53 miles and 286 before we then do, because we are getting close to our Mexico flight soon. That's 7 legs away, so the Mexico City race will be coming up. So it was a little strong. Landing rate monitor got us at 329 instead of 444, so that's probably what we'll get credited with in Walker. But happy that we are here. I hope you are happy that we are here. Again, I apologize for getting behind again, even though I had worked hard to catch up. But I'm going to work to make sure that Saturday's flight that you will see on Saturday, and we'll maybe give that one a shot with self-loading cargo. I'll have a window tomorrow, hopefully, that I can do stuff, and we'll go from there. But I will see you next time.